Hi, this is Jeannie, and for today, the topic is going to be what is hardship in Nichiren Buddhism and how do we define hardship? So, I would just like to share my experience. So, I came to America 7 years ago and I didn't have the best time. I really encountered hardship, and to top it all off, I started working in New York and not long. It was upstate New York at first for a couple months, and then after that, for 2 years, I worked in New York City, which meant that I took the subway, the train, I walked all over in my entire area because I did home health. I'm a healthcare worker, so I would visit people's apartments. Um, so I was walking, rain or shine, snow, whatever. And I showed up for work, and that was for 2 years, and it was like the hardest assignment I've ever had, especially because I have like a health condition and stuff. I easily get tired. I have a thyroid condition, and I don't know how I survived it. I just relied on chanting Nam Myoho Renge Kyo, and it was really tough. In the first few months, I was complaining. I literally almost every week, there's in New York Culture Center, SGI Culture Center. There was every Tuesdays, I think it was every Tuesdays at 6 p.m. there was like free guidance. So you would line up to ask for free guidance, and I swear I was almost a fixture there. I would ask for guidance, and then the following week or after a couple weeks I would go back again, ask for guidance, and it was the same. I was complaining. I said, I'm chanting Nam Myoho Renge Kyo. Why is my life so hard? Why am I experiencing hardship? Why is this that? It's as if I am, literally I felt like I jumped inside a giant washing machine and I was being washed. Like it was like literally the most concentrated hardship that I myself have encountered, and it was new to me. And all of the senior Buddhist members, they always gave me the same answer, which is continue to chant Nam Myoho Renge Kyo, and this is making you strong. And at first I was like not taking their advice. In fact, I was so angry. I think I was so angry and frustrated. I'm like, they don't understand, what I'm going through. I'm like, and to top it all off, I think at one point, almost like a year after, like I worked in New York City, I injured my knee. So aside from that, I was in excruciating pain, but I showed up for work. I just put on a knee brace, and I don't know how I did it, but anyway, so I was always complaining, and I was always like asking like why. Like I thought I was chanting to be happy, and then I thought that when you're chanting that things are easy and then things are perfect. And looking back, I realized that it was actually a great benefit for me because my character developed, and because I encountered a lot of hardships. You have no clue what I've been through emotionally, health-wise, physically, mentally. All aspects of my life, even financially too, all aspects of my life have been affected. But for some reason, I just continued to chant Nam Myoho Renge Kyo, and I was just complaining. I was just complaining a lot. And looking back, I realized that they were right. It is a great benefit because I literally can live anywhere now because I was trained when I first came to America. I was trained under hardship, and I lived. I stayed in an attic for several months. That's where I lived. It was like really, really hard conditions, and like like danger as well. I remember when I was working in New York City, which reminds me of what's currently happening right now. There's like slashings in the subway, and then people were pushed on the train tracks. So, and the place where my patient lived, her area, which was a really scary area, I had to go to work there, and it was horrible. It was horrible. And I had to go to see her first thing in the morning, because if you're there after 4 o'clock when it's winter, it's like very dangerous. And actually, when I was working there, 2 people had died in the same street, like literally like a block within the same block. So it is literally, I encountered a lot of hardships, and I was questioning my practice. Actually, I was asking, like, shouldn't life be easy because I'm chanting Nam-myoho Renge Kyo? And I just realized that it was because I didn't go through my human revolution, and it was actually because I had a low life condition, meaning like my awareness, my consciousness, my attitude was like in a low vibration. I was like, I didn't have the right mindset. But I am so glad that I continued to chant Nam-myoho Renge Kyo despite the hardships, because looking back right now, I literally developed like if you can say, a stronger spiritual muscle. And I'm not saying that I don't have problems right now, but I can easily shake it off. Like I think a week or so ago, like almost a week or so ago, like I was in a car accident, and luckily I didn't really get hurt. And for some weird reason, I landed in the middle of the road and stopped. And the cars were supposed to be a go, but they all stopped. And so I had time to go to the corner and then, recover. It was like really scary, and made me realize the importance of this practice, Nam-myoho Renge Kyo. And besides that, I got sick with COVID, and I had a few days ago, I had a weird medical condition that hopefully is getting better. So that's it. That's literally the practice. It's like when you develop that spiritual muscle, when you just continue to chant Nam-myoho Renge Kyo and you encounter difficulties, you just become stronger and stronger and wiser because of it. And I know right now, I've been there, I've struggled. You have no idea, I've struggled. But I just continue to chant Nam-myoho Renge Kyo. And yes, you will encounter difficulties with this practice. I'm not going to beat around the bush. It is going to be the hardest thing you'll ever do in your life, to continue to chant Nam-myoho Renge Kyo. But for me, it's very satisfying just looking back. And they were right. It's only when you look back that you realize the growth and the steady progress that you've been through. And when I encounter difficulties and problems right now, unlike before where I was always complaining and asking, why is this happening to me? Why me? Right now, I just chant Nam-myoho Renge Kyo and just really, really, I just really just chant to change the situation. And I know it's only gonna get better, because that's the practice. It's a steady practice. It's like a lifetime practice. It's self-mastery. Actually, we call it human revolution, but another term for it is self-mastery. And if you are just starting to chant Nam-myoho Renge Kyo, I have to tell you that, I'm not going to beat around the bush. You will encounter difficulties. It's a given. And as they said, there was a ghost show, and I always hated this when like the senior leaders would tell me, like, suffer what there is to suffer, enjoy what there is to enjoy, and consider suffering as parts of life. And no one can prevent, or no one can avoid difficulties. Even the sages cannot prevent difficulties or problems. So I hated that. I hated that ghost show line, but it's so true. It is so true. And you really just go through life, and I tell you, I've been chanting Nam Myoho Renge Kyo for 14 years. It's going to be, I'm excited for my 15th year because that is, they say, life-changing, life-altering karma. They said life-changing event of chanting Nam Myoho Renge Kyo for 15 years. And I can assure you that even if I have difficulties right now, and I continue to have difficulties because I developed that spiritual muscle, I am just unfazed by it. You know, sometimes like there's days where I'm like so anxious and so bothered and like I can't deal and I can't cope. But unlike before where it took me maybe years to recover, now, and even before that, like maybe 5 years ago, maybe months, but now it just takes days and sometimes even hours. And that is the practice. And if I can put it in a graph, before I was chanting Nam Myoho Renge Kyo, I'm going to use my hands. I was doing this, like life was just this, up and down, up and down. And with Nam Myoho Renge Kyo, when you chant Nam Myoho Renge Kyo and you have a steady practice, consistent practice, it's literally up, down, but you're going up and up and up and up and up. And I mean your life condition and your attitude and just the way you look at things. It really made me realize too, because today I was able to compare myself to friends. So I have friends that they literally are anxious about everything, and then they think that they can't deal with negativity and they can't deal with problems, like they have a low threshold for problems. As for me, I'm lucky I'm able to laugh it off. I'm not saying that I'm not taking it seriously, but I'm able to just brush it aside and just focus on what needs to be done. And I recall when I was working in the Bronx, which is another really hard place to work at. I remember that my patient's elevator, the elevator in her building was broken, and she was on the 18th floor. And I had a choice. Should I climb 18 floors to get to her with my heavy backpack? And this was a backpack with the equipment, you know, exercise equipment, weights, and I think a laptop too. It was really hard, and paper, you know, and it was maybe a lot of weight. I think over 20 pounds, I think, of weight, maybe even more, 20 or 30 pounds. And on top of that, I had like a knee issue as well. That was getting better. It wasn't, so I had like an issue, and I had a choice. I had a choice whether to just quit and just like tell my boss like, oh, the elevator was broken, I just didn't do it, you know, like it's impossible. And then I realized that I'm a Nichiren Buddhist, and that, I mean, why should I be chanting Nam Myoho Renge Kyo if there's no difference between chanting Nam Myoho Renge Kyo and not chanting Nam Myoho Renge Kyo? So I have to show proof that, you know, I'm different, that this practice is different, that this practice doesn't make me a quitter. So guess what I did? I climbed 18 floors, and it was hard, but you know, I was able to do it, and I was so proud. And that is the journey of chanting Nam Myoho Renge Kyo. You will encounter difficulties, and I swear I've been there. I've encountered a lot of difficulties. You have no idea. Losing loved ones in just a short term of a short span of time. It's like heartbreaking. And losing friends in just 5 years, friends that were healthy and family members that were healthy, and losing loved ones. You know, I had an uncle that killed himself. I had a mom that died of, you know, just really bad circumstances, and you know, 2 grandpas that died, and within just the span of 5 years, you know, like, and losing friends as well. I had a friend, she was in her early 30s, and she was inspiring. She was so full of life, and you know, and I really loved her and I loved her spirit, but she passed away 2 or 3 years ago. And also another friend who was like a mother, she left behind a 2-year-old daughter at that time when she passed away 2 years ago. So it really is, it's hard, and that is life. But it made me realize, just comparing myself right now to who I was before and comparing myself to my friends, that just made me realize I've come a long way, because I literally was a quitter. And I would literally quit if I didn't have this practice, Nam-myoho Renge Kyo. And every day I'm reminded, because, you know, sometimes we slack off in our practice, chanting Nam-myoho Renge Kyo. We do. I mean, we're human and it's normal. And when I slack off, after a few days, I feel off, you know, that I'm not my vibrant self. I'm not my positive self. And again, in Nichiren Buddhism, positivity means being aware of everything. It doesn't mean that you're selecting or like putting looking at your life through a pinhole. Actually, you are not. When you are chanting Nam-myoho Renge Kyo, you see everything. You see all aspects that needs to be changed. You see the problem, you see everything, and sometimes it makes you uncomfortable. And I'm only human. Sometimes I'm like, oh God, I'm gonna escape from this problem, but there is no change until you really confront what needs to be changed. And another reminder that I got is that what really makes this practice different from all the other practices is that once you change internally first, automatically your external reality changes. And I just had to be reminded of that, because like I've been looking outside of myself again, like blaming other people, or why are they being difficult, and like why is that person like this, like that, like they're being difficult. And I realized that, you know, there's something in me that hasn't allowed me to deal with that level of difficulty, and that's something in me that I need to expand and grow. And that's why I'm so grateful for this practice. And to the SGI members in New York, especially the senior leaders that have given me guidance, you really are so wise. And I know that I may have complained, and but it was literally, they gave me the best guidance, which is, it was only the problems that I encountered were only making me stronger, and they continue to. And that's why, you know, when there's times when I want to slack off on this practice, I just look back and I remember like, oh my God, I've come a long way. And I think there was a Gosho that says like, it takes 12 days to go from Kamakura to Kyoto or something. I don't know, from somewhere to somewhere. I'm sorry, I don't have the exact Gosho right now. I'm just riffing. But so it takes 12 days to get to your destination. Why rest on the 11th day? You know, why stop and rest on the 11th day? It means we literally have to continue, and it's hard. It's gonna be hard, and I'm not gonna be, as I said, I'm not gonna lie to you. This practice, when you start it, it's gonna be the most difficult thing you'll ever gonna do. Continuing to practice is even the most difficult thing that you're going to be able to do, or but it's very satisfying when you look back at the person that you've become because of this practice. So that's why I can never like slack off. I may slack off for a few days, but I really can't, because like I just notice, like I think, and that's one of the benefits of this practice, if you've been chanting this long, is that you just realize right away, like, okay, that's the wrong, like not really wrong path, but I'm like going sideways now, and now like I have to go this way, you know. So it's just that awareness, and that is such a gift. And that's my gift to you too, explaining what is hardship in Nichiren Buddhism. And if you are a new chanter of Nam-myoho Renge Kyo, if you've been chanting Nam-myoho Renge Kyo recently, just be assured, just look back at this video and in maybe 5-10 years and tell me, you know, if I'm right or wrong. But yeah, this practice, it's not about the short-term gain, it's about the long-term gain. So that's why when you encounter difficulties, it's always like it's a vow to chant to change it forever. And there are no easy prayers here. Our prayer is a vow to literally change our karma, our destiny, and just continue to chant Nam-myoho Renge Kyo. Even, you know, if you get lazy, that's okay. Just continue, and just continue your practice. The better if you're consistent with your practice. If you've stopped, maybe now's the time to continue. But I swear to you, I promise you that things are going to get better, and it has, and it has. And thank you very much, and do chant Nam-myoho Renge Kyo, and do subscribe if you like my video. Thank you.